This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
G'day punters. Well, I'm going to assume that you've heard of Bet with Mates by now. Betting together has never been so easy than it is within the Sportsbet app with the new Bet with Mates. But there's even more features coming now. You can start rating your mates' bets with emojis. No guessing what some of my bets would be rated with. I'm not going to go into detail on what that emoji is, but you can probably imagine. But my favourite feature that's just recently come out is the late join. Plenty of my mates have Bet with Mates groups that are absolutely rolling, and I haven't been able to win a part of them. But now I can with the late join feature. I can jump right in there and also set a max stake. Enjoy the app and, most importantly, gamble responsibly.
Playing smart basketball.
Adams! Oh! Bryce Good! 8 wins in a row for the Sydney Kings. They are one of the hottest teams in the competition right now.
He's been the one that's changed their season, make no mistake.
The magnitude of this game for Illawarra.
Exceptional.
Exceptional.
Joe G says no, this is my house now.
Phoenix force a turnover at halfway.
Oh, yes, sir.
Step back three. The wow factor of that.
And Bryce Cotton is off to the races, and he ends it. Cotton for the win.
White spins on Creek. What a move, Jack White. Following up. Ariel hook pointing. That is what Chris Golding can do.
Hello and welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL, and we're in Tasmania for the JackJumpers, who have been absolutely incredible in their debut season. But they take on the Sydney Kings, who are going for 10 straight. But the biggest out today is Cam Luke. He's stuck in traffic. So it's my backcourt buddy, Leonard Copeland. It's a two-man band.
This is fantastic. Let's have some fun, brother. Let's have some fun.
We're going to have our own show after this. Don't worry about that.
That's
But
right.
what a game we've got in Tasmania. The Sydney Kings, you're a bit harsh on them early in the season.
I wasn't harsh, but look, they've got their stuff together now. They brought in Adams, and they're going for 10 in a row, like you said. But guess what? Last time these teams played, Tasmania gave them a little spanking. So it's going to be a good match, Shane. What do you think?
Well, it certainly is, and they've really rocketed up the ladder now. You win 9 in a row, and there's no surprise, but there they are, 14-7 for the Sydney Kings. Got a pretty good run home as well. But this is a danger game. The JackJumpers still have hopes of being able to make it climb over the Perth Wildcats.
They do, and the good thing about the JackJumpers is they play within themselves. They don't try to do too much. They play hard. They listen to the coach. And it's been working for them. They're winning games, Shane. Can you believe that this is their first year? That guy on screen has been fantastic, scoring 31 points last Friday. But the Sydney Kings have done a very good job of shutting him down. He needs to go well tonight, along with McVeigh.
Well, he has to be aggressive, doesn't he? Because the Sydney Kings have to have their pick-and-roll defence on point, because he's got the ability, as we see some of his highlights, that he can get to the basket. He's got good quickness and athleticism, uses the pick-and-roll, the floater, but can hit the three as well. And he's had all the answers so far.
31 points on Friday, like I said. I just hope he doesn't come out and try to get too hot. Let the game come to him, because that's what's working for them, and that's why they're winning games.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But let's take a look at the DoorDash starting 5 for the Sydney Kings. And that man on screen, but he's the favourite for the MVP. He's been outstanding. Is our man, Mr. Adams.
No doubt about it. This is the only guy in the league that's given Cotton 30 points twice. Him, Cook's my guy that probably should be on the Olympic team. I keep begging for him to be on the Olympic team. The way they play, Vasiljevic coming off the bench, letting it fly. They just have talent everywhere, and that's why they won 9 games in a row.
Well, let's not forget Jarrell Martin as well. Probably the best import combination in the entire league for me, the Sydney Kings, the way they've put that together. But exciting team and an exciting coach, because our man Chase Buford, he's been incredible and really got them on track for, this championship run that they're going after now. Let's take a listen to him from their last press conference.
Yeah, Tassie's playing as well as anybody in the league right now. We were disappointed with our performance last time we went down there. Didn't shoot the ball very well. could have played better defense. But if we're being honest with ourselves, probably 6 out of the 8 quarters we played against Tassie, they've beat us, and we have to be better executing versus their pressure. And they're the hardest playing team in the league. I'd like to think we play hard, but Scott's got those guys competing their butts off. So if we think we're going to come in there and it's going to be anything other than a dogfight, we're crazy.
Well, it's going to be a dogfight. Don't worry about that, because that's just the way that Tasmania play. But let's get to the Kmart ball kid. It's Teddy. Take a look at Teddy. He loves it.
Teddy's a player. Look at it.
You can tell that. And that's brought to you by Game Time. Check out the NBL website for all the information of how you get part of it. But this really is a big game from Tasmania. Look forward to see which team steps up.
Who you got, Shane? I know you got us. You didn't even ask that question.
I've got the Sydney Kings, but Chase Buford is right. This really is a danger game, and just with their mentality coming in, you know they're going to be ready. But I love the way the JackJumpers play.
It's certainly a quality team, and that guy gets going early. They're in trouble.
That is one player you don't want to hit the first basket, because Adams, when he gets going, he takes his time normally, gets other people into the game, but just love the way he does it from the perimeter, but also being able to take it off the dribble as well.
And and you're right. Adams can get going offensively, but he rebounds the ball well as a guard. He passes the ball well. He's a smart player. He gets everyone involved. He's the coach on the floor, and that's why the Kings are going for 10 games in a row.
And this is the danger as well. When you've got someone like Cooks that just gets on the offensive boards, he's got a real ability to be able to sniff out where those missed shots are going, because the Kings shoot so many shots from the perimeter with their 5-out style of play as well. JackJumpers trying to make things happen. I love the way they work, move the ball, move players to be able to make things happen as well. Another great defensive set from the Sydney Kings. Off to the races, blocked by Cooks.
Shane, they're not messing around. The Kings are not messing around. You know how you're playing well and you go into a venue and people look at you differently? That's how people are looking at the Sydney Kings now, because, again, we talk about it, that's a lot of games to win in a row, considering how they started anyway.
No doubt, the quality of this league, tough to be able to string wins together, but it also shows that the Sydney Kings have come in respecting the opposition. They've won 9 in a row, but you get that from your head coach, and that's that block that we're talking about from Cooks. Then they're out to the races. They love playing this up-tempo game that really comes from the energy at the defensive end, but they have come with a respect for the JackJumpers tonight, and they're punching them in the mouth early.
This could be a blowout, Shane. Could be. Let's hope not. I want to see some real basketball.
Nice play inside.
That's what he does well. He's a smart player. Again, and I speak about this a lot. For his age, he's 26 years old. How do you let him go if you're an LA 36er? You try to hold on to this guy and keep him as much as you hold on to him as long as you can.
Well, and Jack McVeigh, he's the energy guy, isn't he? Just plays that role. He can play inside and out. Undersized 4-man, but he really fits what Scott Roth's really trying to do. Has that toughness, but love what he's been able to do this year.
He brings the energy. He is an energy bunny.
He certainly does. No doubt about that. And straight off the bench, ladies and gentlemen, Cam Luke. He's come from a marathon. That's the sort of energy he brings.
How you doing?
How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. I was not missing this, and the Kings have had a very nice start.
Well, if they go downhill from here, we'll be blaming you, Copes and I thought we had our own show after the start that we've
I'm sitting here with 2 Kings. Here we go. Hang on. Here's Adams. And they are had a nice start. Have Sydney and a big night or a big afternoon for Tasmania. Here's Majet. Great pass. He's going to try and flick it over his head. He's Kenyon.
And on this 9-game winning streak for the Sydney Kings, the thing that has improved, sure, they've been able to put points on the board, but their defense strategies have improved. Their pick and roll defense as well. Love the fact that they're undersized. They're running people off the three, as we saw there. But every basket becomes tough to be able to make against this current Kings lineup.
My question to you, Shane, you're coaching now. How do you get such a young team to buy into everything you ask for? Because obviously they're buying in because it's working.
Yeah, it is. And, I spent a day with Chase Buford and the Kings last week, and you just see his energy and his passion. He keeps them accountable, but they're all on the same page. They're loving life right now, as you would imagine when you're on a 9-game winning streak. But people still have to sacrifice because you're not always playing as many minutes and all the rest of it. But these guys are all in, and it comes from Chase Buford.
Absolutely.
1 of 6 early for the JackJumpers. Zipper 3 from the three-point line as we see McVeigh misfire. The Kings at the other end already got a couple of triples to go. And that turnover won't help. Their first of the night.
Look at the Kings starting 5, and then you got guys coming off the bench like Clark. It's tough to match up against those guys, man, because they got talent coming from everywhere. The Maker boys coming in. You got Clark coming in. So that's a very tough lineup.
And don't underrate guys like Glover as well. Coming off the bench, he's just got that toughness and that energy. He can play anywhere 2 through 4 and adds that toughness where he doesn't need to get a whole lot of shots, but plays a really valuable role for the Kings.
You're right, Shane. I speak about this guy every time they play. Here's a guy with 3 knee surgeries, but he plays with so much energy you wouldn't know that.
Majet spin, gets it to go. Vasiljevic, other end, left hand is good. McVeigh was there. He was better. His first bucket of the night.
And he's almost been the forgotten man, DJ, hasn't he? Because the amount of talent they've got in those import spots. But he's going to be really valuable come the end of the season, knowing that he can get off at any stage and have 20 points. And they can't help off him as well. So even if he's not scoring, they're having to really play in him, which gives more space for Adams to be able to do his thing.
The thing is, too, Hammer, traditionally coming out of college, people look at him not solely as a three-point shooter, and it's his main skill, but that type of ability now to be able to get to the rim off the back of the injury he had last year is, again, an underrated skill that he does highly possess.
Well, I think the greater three-point shooter you are, the more opportunities it presents to be able to use your up fakes, get to the basket, mix that up to be able to accumulate points.
But Jet tried to draw contact, no good, and now they're going to run. Clark, open, 3, net.
Come on, Shane.
The hottest team in the league has started exactly that way down in Tasmania. 15-4, Ian Clark straight on, nothing but net. It's a nice start.
They've got 5 assists already, fellas. 5 out of their 6 baskets have come by way of assists. And you see Adams then explores in the middle, but great vision. Got guys like Clark. That's what he does. That's what he did in the NBA. World class at being able to knock down the three-point shot that makes it tough to defend.
He's smiling, Jim, which is a good sign. Yeah, he looks confident. Come on, Wally, concentrate, buddy. Gaze on those uprising wings. Come on, Wally.
Big down the middle, Paul.
He takes his time.
Leave this to the
Give it a
guard,
kissy
back.
kiss.
You're off the hook.
That's a really sweet kiss, Kim. It's up!
Let's go dive with him, all right? So Jay's going to come into it. We'll swing it. We're in dive. Dive to the middle pick and roll, all right? Hey, relax. Get a breath. But we got to get it on the defense end. We got to get back in transition. All right, lock in. Come on, together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Will Magnay, Josh Adams, and then Scott Roth. Talking to a team that has just got a bench warning only moments ago from the referees. I know Anthony Stewart is courtside. He might have been listening in to the Kings. Good afternoon to you, Stewie.
Yeah, what a contrast. Evening or afternoon, guys. Last time the Sydney Kings played here, they couldn't buy a bucket. And I said, Jalen Adams, if he's knocking that 3 down, he is basically unstoppable in this league. He passes the ball so well, brings others into the game. If he's knocking down the 3, which is around 40%, makes it very difficult to stop the Sydney Kings.
Oh, he's right. Can I take a little credit for the Sydney Kings playing quite well? Because in the beginning, Shane,
you bagged them early?
I didn't bag them. They were under pressure, and I said that. And everyone's looking at me like I did something wrong.
What did you say on the jump specifically around Chase Buford?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I said...
Because Daisy tried to put words in your mouth.
Of course. I said the Sydney Kings are under pressure when they're losing like this because I've been there and I know what it's like. The fans want you to win. So I'm taking a lot of credit for the Kings playing the way they're playing.
McIntosh, he comes off the bench and nails it.
To be fair, they were decimated with injury.
Of course.
So it always makes it tough.
Does the
take your
fans,
best couple of players
do the
out.
fans care about that, though? They want wins in Sydney.
Yeah, but I think for us, it makes it easier to understand why they might be struggling.
Right.
And I think the other good thing is we see, I don't know where that's going to count, but the other thing that Chris Pongrass, who put this team together, was really patient in filling that third import spot. Sometimes you need to get a bit lucky, but if you jump too early and get the wrong player, they waited, they get Ian Clark, and what an extra piece of this puzzle as we see the warning. That was the warning on the JackJumpers. Not sure what was said, but maybe it helped them because they came out and got a bucket early.
But Jet was looking for that play or that whistle at the other end on that tough three. Maker, part of the NBL first-time green light team. And I'll tell you what, when he's playing like this and he's got this confidence, again, that depth goes even further down this roster.
And you know, Shane, you've been on teams where you've won 6 or 7 or 8 in a row. The confidence is just all over the place. But even the people that work in the office are confident. You know what I mean?
So true.
You're just walking around with so much confidence that everybody plays great.
Adams, what a pass. Maker again, 4 straight off the bench for the young fella. That lead is 12 in Sydney right now. 8 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, only the 1 turnover, and 6 assists, as Hammer spoke about moments ago. Jeez. And then now another steal, and Adams is going to push all the way. Takes the bump, couldn't get it to go.
And there's just an energy about the Sydney Kings, and it's starting on the defensive end. These guys want to get stops, get out to the races. They want to play quick, make good decisions in transition like they did with Adams on that occasion, but they've just got weapons all over the court. And right now, the JackJumpers, when you're playing against this, they need to be able to try and take the air out of the ball, try and get inside the paint, get to the free throw line, and they've got to try and change the tempo of this game because this is not a race they can win.
No, sir.
And very rare for the JackJumpers to be out-energised and out-hustled, and that's exactly what Scott Roth has had them playing every single game this year. And this is one of the very few, I know we're only not quite 6 minutes in, but one of the very few games where you could say the other team has brought the energy.
Absolutely. It's fair to say the Sydney Kings have the best 1-2-3 import combination in the league. Is that fair to say?
Well, if you talk to Paul Smith, he calls it import lotto, and he's gone tick, tick, tick.
There you go. There you go.
They've got the best import combination, and you know the challenge for them now is trying to lock a couple of these guys in because all of them are capable of getting back to the NBA.
That's right.
McIntosh,
or
5 off the bench.
Generally, when the import comes out here and plays this well, other teams try to pick him up straight away. So if I'm Sydney Kings, I'm trying to lock these guys in, like you said, straight away.
Clark. That one's long. McDaniel for 3. Great D in the end by Martin. He's going to leak out and go the other end and just be able to lay it in. Great lead pass. The unselfishness already on full display. 7 assists as a team for the Kings. Adams has 3 himself. That lead is 13.
Well, that's just poor defensive transition. That shot goes up. The opposite guards needs to be at the halfway to be able to protect the basket, especially against a team like the Kings that you know have got their backs up and they're running at all costs.
McIntosh been great since coming off the bench. Keeps it alive here.
He loves to play that bully ball, but he can't bully this big guy.
He might have been stunned for a moving screen as well as Majet tried to go to work with the shot clock. Getting dangerously low. Another turnover.
Well, I love his energy, but that's just a poor play. He just can't move on those screens. And, you know, his heart's in the right place for wanting to get his guard open, but mate, it's a turnover.
He had him. He just leant into him the last second.
Leant into him. He gave him a
little forearm shiver.
That's a truck.
Yeah, could have used that on the wing at the MCG. That was a shepherd.
You know his team is one when Hammer wants to bring AFL into the commentary.
Not only did the Mighty Cats win, but I was showing the scores to the commentary team last night as we're 30 points down at 3/4 time and just found a way to be able to get it done in the last quarter like all good teams do.
That's what the good teams do.
That's what they do.
Come on, come on, come on.
.13 lead. My State Bank Arena, first of our Hungry Jacks NBL doubleheader tonight. Here is Adams. Maker's got 4 already. He's feeling it. That was ambitious. Can the JackJumpers turn some defense into offense through Majette? 26-footer, no good. We're going to start again. If you're a JackJumper, as they try to find some fluency. Now 4 of 16, 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. Can that go?
Now see, the problem
One
with
of
the
10.
JackJumpers, Cam, is when you're 1 of 10, you need to make an adjustment. And some of those shots are open, yes, but you still need to make an adjustment. Get yourself to the free throw line to be able to make that happen. Get a high percentage play off the dribble to be able to get in. And right now, they just haven't adjusted.
Got some playoff intensity this afternoon, Copes.
Absolutely. Both of these teams are, the JackJumpers are trying to get into the playoff run.
Well, one's definitely going there, and the JackJumpers are playing very well. Steindl draws a bit of contact. He'll go to the foul line for 2.
Why is it taking so long for Steindl to come off the bench when you're 1 for 10?
He's the one to be taking the shots. You're exactly right. Exactly right.
You know, they're struggling at the offensive end. 9 points so far in this quarter with only a minute 45 to go, and now he makes his debut in this game. And, you know, when he's on fire, we know he's extremely tough, but, you know, he's really found a way to put the ball on the floor a little bit as well. And we know he's a great free throw shooter. And right now, you want to be playing off him and seeing what comes of it as you're starting to struggle.
Watch the Xing and the hand back here. In transition here.
Xavier Cooks re-enters. Clark, top of the key, guarded by McDaniel. Here is Cooks. Such a tough matchup. Pretty good D by Majette, but Cooks was able to regather and get it to go.
He is an energized bunny. He gets it going. He doesn't need the ball to score. I mean, he'll get it off the glass, he'll get a tip in, take it coast to coast, but just unselfish.
That's not his shot.
No. Wow.
Great pass. Vidanovic felt for the contact.
That must be their new toy. Get it and throw it long, because they've done that 3 times already in the first quarter.
Well, I think what they recognised is, you know, they're spraying up a whole lot of threes, Tassie, and then they're out to the races. And when the wrong people are shooting threes, you don't have the defensive transition set to be able to stop a team that wants to get out and run. And right now, Tasmania just haven't made the adjustment at the offensive end, and that's why they're really finding it hard to be able to defend the Kings right now.
They're 1 of 11. The irony in that comment, Shane, which I do agree with, is McIntosh is the only one who's found range today for Tasmania, which is not the traditional way to go about it for these JackJumpers, but they're just hoisting it, talking about living and dying by the 3-point shot. This is where we're at right now.
Well, they're 1 from 11 from 3 and 3 from 7 from inside.
And these are the struggles you're going to have as a young team. We talk about all the good things they do, and they are good for a first-year team, but they're going to make mistakes as well, you know? And these are some of these mistakes. The problem is you can't make these mistakes against the Sydney Kings because they're the hottest team in the league, and they're punishing you.
Here is Steindl. Can he get it going? Yes, he can.
Talk about it, Shane. That's the guy you need shooting through.
Exactly. That's what he does. And now Jared Weeks coming off the bench as well. He'll add a little bit of pop, but you better play some D when you're playing against the Sydney Kings because they've got weapons all over the place, Copes.
Jeez, that's quick.
Clark has 5.
3 seconds and they score.
Steindl. This time off the dribble, little floater, no good, and they'll run again with the Kings. Clark says we'll hold up, play a little half court.
Last shot of the quarter, and that's just a veteran. Recognising how long to go in the quarter, how long to go on the shot clock. No more chances for Tassie.
Good pass. Little screen and roll, 2-man game. It was Vidanovic who was able to take advantage of it. Last shot here, Weeks is going to try and get it to go. Steindl!
Oh.
No friendly rim there for the JackJumpers, and it ends after 1. 10 minutes in the books as the Kings try to go for 10. They lead by 16, 30-14. Hungry Jacks NBL, first of our doubleheader on a Sunday, and it's been all the Sydney Kings. The hottest team in the league right now. And they're hot today, 12 for 15 from the field. 3-pointers, they're running. Xavier Cook's above the rim. Clark comes off the bench, they are deep. As we've spoken a lot about that man, Chase Buford, very happy. And we talk about winning families, all thanks to Kmart. Colin Lynch. That's the Lynch family. They'll be real happy. That's Emily and Madeline. They're keen Sydney Kings fans just like Dad and love cheering and meeting the Lion and the Cub. And right now, no doubt, all thanks to Kmart, they're very happy. $50 Kmart gift card. But they're very happy because right now, Copes, their team is in control.
That little girl had Shane Hill's jersey on, didn't she?
Must have been her old man's or something because I don't know where she got that from.
Right. But the Kings are having fun, though. That's the difference. Everyone that comes in the game competes and contributes, and they're having fun. And that's why they're winning so many games.
Fedanovic to the line for 2. Anthony Stewart was in the JackJumper time in the quarter time huddle. What do you got for us, Stewart?
Yeah, Coach Roth pretty animated. He targeted Bairstow a little bit, but he's just bad shots like Hammer and Copes you've been talking about. Bad shots turning into transition points for the Sydney Kings, and really impressed with Ian Clark. I think he's unbeaten so far in this league. The poise he's showing is just incredible out here.
18-point lead for Danovic. He's got 6 off the bench. Steindl. Weeks. They're going to fire away again. That's unfortunately been the theme of this afternoon so far, as he's not able to get it to go. And here's Glover on the attack. Right at Steindl. Goes past him. Leads it up with the non-preferred right. The lead is 20.
How nice was that move? Jeez.
And you look at the confidence of all these guys in transition. It's a credit to them because, and you talked about, looked like the enjoyment as we see McVeigh let one slip as well. But it's tough to do over a long season with all the COVID disruptions and everything else for these guys to play with this sort of energy and enjoyment and roles.
McVeigh wants to push. Weeks, can he get it to go? It's one and done when it comes to the offense of the JackJumpers right now. 2 of 16 from the 3-point line, 5 of 24 overall. Huge reason why they find themselves down 20. Clark couldn't quite find Xavier Cooks. Turnover number 6 for the Kings. Really the only blemish in his first 11.5 minutes.
Clark out, Adams in. You lose nothing. You lose nothing.
Well, I like the way he's subbing too, because you look at Jalen Adams, played 8 minutes in the first quarter, got the quarter-time break. Now he's coming back in a minute and a half into that quarter, so now he gets another run at it as well. Had 7 points and 3 assists in that first quarter.
McVeigh. Cooks met him at the rim, did enough. Vasilovic. Here is Adams, one of the leading candidates for the most valuable player. Cooks, shot clock down the 4. Xavier's got to get to work. That's real tough. Good D by McDaniel. Forced him away from the bucket, and a tough little one-hander was no good. McDaniel the other end. That's his jam. He's able to go left, pull up just by the foul line and get it to go. Little line drive.
Nice shot by him.
And that was on Adams that time. You have a look, it's too deep, that pick and roll, and he decides to go under at the last minute. Needed to go over the top. They were in a drop situation, and that's just too easy.
His first bucket of the night, Melbourne United championship player from a year ago. Well, Scott Roth addresses his troops. Have a look at this for a SodaStream shot chart, and it's not good reading if you're a jack jumper. Kings are shooting well, 13 of 17, three-point line at 50%, foul line even going all right, but it's all negative at the other end, Hammer.
It's enough to make you see red. You're a coach of that, left of screen, I tell you. Have a look at that. Scott Roth's already told him, you know, pack the three-point shot up for a minute. Let's just attack off the dribble to be able to make that happen. The message hasn't got through, and let's see whether they can make an adjustment, because if they don't, it makes it tough at the other end if they keep missing. And the Sydney Kings, who just love to get out to the races, scoring at 76%. And
you know what's crazy about that, O'Shea?
What's that?
Jack Jumpers have had 26 shots, and the Sydney Kings only had 17. And they're up by 18 points.
Yep.
That's crazy. Efficiency, 76% from the field. You're probably not going to...
Well, and the other key stat with that is 10 assists for the Sydney Kings, only 2 for the Jack Jumpers. They've made it a little bit hard for themselves, and the Kings have been really unselfish to find better shots.
Swaka Bullock, another man who's having a really nice year. Vasilovic guarded by Steindl, wants to take him off the dribble. Step back, 15-footer. Back iron. McDaniel looking for 2 straight buckets. Drew the contact. He'll go the foul line for 2.
That's a smart move. Get to the glass, draw the foul.
Yeah, good adjustment. You know, his last 2 plays from him has been able to try and get into the paint. The last one on the pick and roll, he pulled up, made that shot. This time he's able to go all the way. And they're looking for some sort of spark, as their best players are a little bit down at the offensive end so far in this game. Who can step up to be able to make it happen? And it's a little bit why this team's been successful, is they have had different guys at different times be able to step up within their system. He's done a great job, Scott Roth.
Coach of the year.
Has to be, doesn't he?
It's not even a question anymore.
No.
He could have been 15 games with a first-year franchise.
Yeah. Well, and first year, yes, but just with the talent they've put together, just isn't even close to some of the other teams. And it takes, you know, a coach that's able to really maximise what they've got, come up with a system. They're disciplined, they play hard, they play together, and that's really what you want to be able to build with.
Well, their marquee signing, as they play great D here, and will push out as Will Magna. He's barely played. McDaniel again, having a great corner. That'll count. The old-fashioned three-point play opportunity. Sam McDaniel's the spark. He's got 6 all in this quarter. And that was sparked by the double team in the hand. And away McDaniel, right at Martin. He just got him with the body, and that's a nice finish. But as I was saying, Will Magnay's barely played. He wouldn't have played 10 games, would he? Their marquee player?
No. Yeah, so it tests your depth, and other guys have to be able to stand up. The Jack Jumpers are doing a good job now at the defensive end. They've caused a couple of turnovers. Sydney up to 7. They've only got 2 themselves, and that points to the fact that Coach pointed out before why they've had an extra 9 shots.
Last 7 points for the Jack Jumpers, all from Sam McDaniel, and that leads back to 13. Now there's some life in this crowd. Adams, step back over McDaniel. That will quieten them down just a little bit.
Just let him know.
He's got 10.
I made a mistake or 2 down the last couple of plays, but I want to come down and get us back on track, Cam. Get us back on track. What's impressive with the Sydney Kings also is you play 9 or 10 guys in 40 minutes and everyone's still happy. That's hard to do as a coach.
Yeah, particularly when some of those guys at 8th and 9th could be playing somewhere else as Adams just goes bang, bang.
Yes.
Just as they get a little bit of a sniff. Do you think the momentum's going the other way? 7-zip. He goes bang, bang.
McDaniel can't get it to go. And that's why him and Bryce Cotton are the 2 obvious front runners for most valuable player. They just stall other teams' momentum for fun.
Get off the fence, Cam. Who you got?
I think Jalen Adams will be the MVP, mainly because, and I want this on the record, I'm not a voter, but voter fatigue comes into it in some small way. And I think right now that he will get it.
What he's done with this team is phenomenal.
What do you mean voter fatigue, mate? What do you mean?
Well, I think if you look at Adams or Cotton, there'll be people who will vote for Adams because we haven't seen him ever before in the league.
Right.
And I think the standard of which Bryce Cotton has set himself.
Wow. It's a hammer. This is one of those games
That's
you got to just play in. When you want to play in a game like this?
Well, you know, it's a system that you want to play in as well. Yep. Because they get up and down, they share the ball, they want to shoot the 3, but they're making plays, they back each other. It's fun.
Yes.
They'll keep it alive, lead back to 21. 8 straight for Sydney. I think Cotton set himself a standard of which people automatically, as Adams pulls up and hits it, automatically lean on when they're tossing up between a new player they've seen in the league, and they're probably going to finish on top of the ladder, the way they're going about it right now, Sydney. And Bryce Cotton, but wow, that's a great pass.
He's just toying with them.
They are doing whatever they want.
He's just so good, man, isn't he? Yeah. He's smart.
They've missed 5 shots. They've missed 5 shots in the first, what's that? 17 minutes nearly. Can't hit it. Adams will push. Another 3-point misfire. Nonchalant. There's probably a little bit arrogance, and they're going to hold on to it.
What is this, the Harlem Globetrotters? What are they doing out here?
Krizovic was able to get a hand. It's a nice pass. But it's stopped by Swikela Bullock. Now Clark's pointing the other way. Referee's going to have a quick little chat. Let's have a look. Krizovic, great defense by Swikela Bullock.
Mate, I've got white ball pretty clear here. If you want to challenge it, you can.
He virtually gave him some advice.
That's right.
Say, listen, I'm not sure I'd challenge this one. I think I've got the covered.
Good advice as well.
Yeah.
Scott, we're not here stopping now.
And the NBL referees have been good. I think the challenge system's great, but they've been really good at that type of advice at different times. Hey, we're pretty confident in the decision we've got.
Well, you've got to put your money where your mouth is, Scott.
For sure.
You want to argue it, you've
Go
got your challenge it. That's what it's for, mate.
100%.
That's right.
I would love to see the NBA take on the same thing, that if you get your challenge right, why would you lose it?
That's right.
You need more than one. If the referees are bad and you get 8 challenges right, which the NBL system allows you to do, I think it works.
Yeah, I like that.
They can't be worried about time. The game goes for about 3.5, 4 hours anyway. So you think
in the NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That man, Sam McDaniel, little limp. Is that a really nice second quarter so far? Josh Magette just having a chat to the referees. They had it back to 13 only a matter of moments ago. Then Adams goes bang, bang. Clark on a step back likewise, and the lead back to 21. Hungry Jacks NBL double header. So Chase Buford has challenged on cue the call.
That challenge is all over the place. You were a challenge getting here today, weren't you, Cam?
I most certainly was.
Right.
There's a late call up. We have a look.
We actually tried to give you a double technical and get you kicked out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I have
Copes
no
and I
doubt.
felt like
I've no doubt.
this was our time to shine.
We were doing great, too.
When I got a message from Copes calling himself play-by-play Leonard, I thought, oh, I won't even bother.
Mate, we were doing great. We were
I have
doing
no doubt.
We felt like the Sydney Kings, didn't we, Jay?
It felt like we're just rolling here.
Broadcast. Coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor will stand. Block and foul on White 9. Sydney lose their timeout and their coach's challenge.
I did figure that after you two trash-talking each other for 15 years in the league, that you might have just opened up with a little bit of constant dialogue towards each other.
Well, what I should have started with, you know, Copes was the very best I've ever played against of when you go up for a jump shot, he just like clip you on the elbow. He'd do it all the time. And then you'd be whinging like a baby to the referee and he'd just laugh. He'd laugh. Like, yep, I do. All the time. No one did it better. No one did it better.
Those quick reflexes. Adams loses it. And now the Kings, who have been in real aggressive mode, trying to push the pace all first half, get an opportunity here. This time it's Adams. When Jet tried to get in position, he knows.
He actually did a pretty good job. It was the Euro step, but he stood on his foot, so he couldn't go anywhere. And just a good aggressive play by Adams, but difficult circumstances for the D.
13 points for this man this afternoon.
He's just quality. He's quality. He's smart.
He hits him with his hip and he also pushes him.
He gets guys involved.
Hey, no, people want to trade the contact. I watched it right there.
It looks like he's got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Just never looks like he's sped up. Just plays with so much poise, whether it's his scoring, but reading the situation of where he needs to make the extra pass or the hockey assist, whatever it is, he's just ready to be able to nail it.
Adams. Shotcock again down to 5. Sparkle Bullock at the hand on the hip.
Swaka.
His second tonight.
They've done a good job on Adams. Both times or all 3 times they played him.
Yeah, you spoke about that before the game, that they've done a good job, and here we are, 1 for 5 in this first half.
Here he is. Can he get going? Step back just inside the 3-point line. Nothing but twine.
And that's what he has to do playing against the drops, pick and roll defense that the Sydney Kings play. He has to be able to get them on their back, use that space and try and create something off the dribble.
The Jet picks up the Cook's bounce pass. McIntosh, bully ball at his best. That's where when he's trying to exert his physical dominance inside. Well, it's a little harder against this front line of the Kings, but he's earned himself a couple from the foul line.
There's 2 big bodies going at it.
And you're right. That's what he has to be able to do. He mixes in the threes every now and again, but they've got so many people shooting 3-point shots, as we've continued to talk about, that he can play that bully ball to be able to get down low and try and make something happen.
And the thing is, when there was a conversation about how he's going and what it kind of means, Scott Roth, to his credit, called him out, said you need to stand up, and then seemed to get himself the ball in better places to allow him to do stuff like that.
Yeah, he got better. He definitely got better because we rate ex-imports, rate the new imports coming out here, and I thought he was on a plane. You know, give him another week and he would have been on a plane. But to Scott's credit, he had that talk with him.
As Martin is able to get it to go. They're 6 of 9 from the 3-point line. They got 13 assists on the night, Hammer. You spoke about their unselfishness earlier in this half. And it's Jarrell Martin who's got 7.
Well, and that's their 5-out style. Your 5-man's getting to the corners and shooting trifectas. Makes it very difficult to be able to stop. But it also spreads the floor and allows more people to be able to play off penetration.
Cooks. Schweitzler just took his time, allowed the defence. This time it was McIntosh to float on by. The lead is 25.
When they're good, they're good. Nothing else can be said.
Well, and that's what the 5-out does, because they've got no one in the middle clogging it up. So that time Cooks was able to roll from the top, rolls right into the middle, has to draw help. They start cutting. You got corner shooters. Makes it very difficult to be able to defend, and this is just really well executed.
Just unselfish play. Just get the ball to whoever's open.
Jarrell Martin having an outstanding season, but again, the spotlight and the profile has been diminished a little bit because Xavier Cook's having an outstanding year, Jalen Adams doing what he does as well. So
he seems like the sort of guy that
he don't care. He loves it. He loves it. He'll give you 17 and 10 without really having to force the offense.
And Cooks is the same. You know, the last 2 baskets we've seen from Cooks as a facilitator, when he's got the ball in the middle, equally he can go to the basket as well, and I think that's what makes his team so difficult to defend.
Steindl on the attack, uses the left on the reverse, can't go it. And again, Sydney want to push the pace. Martin right at Adams.
Exactly right, Shane. When you got a team like this with this much talent, generally you have some guys that want to do it themselves, but because everyone's so unselfish, it just looks great. It looks like they're having fun. It looks like this is the kind of basketball that you need to play.
Well, and Cobes, I mean, we've both been imports, and you know you have to be able to do your job. But it's so much more fun when you got other people that can contribute.
That's
you
right.
you take your piece of the pie.
Yep.
But you do it more efficiently. It's more fun.
Yep.
You can have 30 in a game, or you can have 8, but your team still has a chance to win.
And then if you're winning, no one cares.
No one cares.
That's exactly right.
But you've got to get the right personalities that embrace that as well.
That's right.
Want to be part of that and can see the bigger picture where you're not just playing for your own numbers.
Absolutely. I agree, 100%.
8 for Martin, leaders 26, last 90 seconds of this first half. Majet. Steindl, not even close. Great defense. It was Glover on that occasion, and then Glover pushes the other way from Cooks, and then 1.
Gets the block, runs the lane, makes the layup, and 1.
They are a machine right now. They are a machine. And we've got messages coming through from the great man, Homicide, who's taken the time to be able to tune into this terrific performance. And he's talking about give the Kings the rings now. And I reckon he was harder on the Kings than you were, Coach.
Yes, he was.
Talk about flowing with the wind. He is up and down, and now he's all on the Kings bandwagon.
Shout out Homicide.
God love him.
You're watching.
Better late than never. You're on Perth time, mate. You are that far behind.
He's not on Perth time. The Red Army don't allow that as well, because he's very good at jumping on a bandwagon. He's been on 6 this year so far. Of course, he's the unofficial #1 ticket holder of this Jack Jumper team, who are playing outstanding. And he did call Scott Roth Coach of the Year, or at least 14 wins pre-season. But on this big afternoon so far, it has been all the Kings who are trying to win their 10th straight game in NBL22.
10 guys have touched the floor for the Sydney Kings. 10 guys in 20 minutes, Shane. Come on, bro.
And it's not to try and find something to work, because it's all working. They lead by 31. They're 7 of 10 from the three-point line. They've missed 6 shots overall, while at the other end, as Adams gets it to go, they're 3 of 21 from the land of plenty and shooting at 26%.
78% for the Sydney Kings. Absolutely outstanding. They could finish this first half with 60.
20 minutes. No.
You were right. That was an ultimate team heat check, as Clark tried to let it fly from 25 feet. And it's really, I wouldn't even call it a blemish, but it's about the only negative you could find for that man and his team after 20 minutes. The lead is 28. Incredible start by the team that come in with a 9-game winning streak, while the JackJumpers, who have been very hot themselves, up to 5th on the Amy ladder. And you could hear a pin drop right now in MyState Bank Arena, which means it'll make it very easy for Anthony Stewart to chat to his next guest.
Jalen Adams, incredible first half. Is that the best we've seen of the Sydney Kings so far this year?
I think so. I think our last couple of games have been the best games that we've had all season, and we just look to keep building and keep getting better every night.
Yeah, the chemistry's incredible, in particular since Ian Clark's joined the squad. You guys look pretty much unstoppable out there working together.
Yeah, man, Ian's added like a whole new presence, just a veteran leadership, the stuff he says in the huddles and in the locker room, and then you see what he does on the court, so he's been a big help for us late in the season.
Well, all the best in the second half.
Thank you.
Well done.
Good luck.
Anthony Stewart, legend of Tasmanian basketball, with a young man who's playing great. That's Jalen Adams. The lead is 28. Well, on the other side of this, Leonard Copeland and Shane Hill are going to tell us how Tasmania can fight their way back into it in the second half. Don't go anywhere. It's Hungry Jack's NBL for you Sunday. Hungry Jack's NBL, 20 minutes in the books, and there's a lot to look at if you're the Sydney Kings. Jalen Adams, he's on fire. Defensively, they've been tough, and they like to run. And when they run, Xavier Cooks likes to get above the rim. He enjoyed that one. And they're enjoying MyState Bank Arena because they are shooting 75% from the field. Ian Clark, the newest King, he comes in and has made a huge difference, as we just heard from Jalen Adams. McIntosh has been able to get a couple to go, but it has been all the Sydney Kings, and they're so fun to watch, boys. When we talk about them being confident
and it adds to wins. But if you're a neutral basketball fan outside of Tasmania right now, you are loving the style they're playing.
That's right. They're playing great basketball. I spoke to Hammer earlier about it. I said, when you love to play in a game like this, because it's an unselfish game. Everyone touches the ball. Everyone eats. And when you got a guy like Adams who passes the ball well, can shoot it, can fill it up, he's going to get other guys involved. And that's why he's probably going to be the MVP, because when you brought him into the Sydney Kings, their whole dynamic changed.
It's hard to argue. I like to argue with you, Leonard, but the numbers right there at half-time, a 28-point lead is the most important one, but from a percentage-wise, Hammer, they just do not miss. 75%, 7 of 11, 23 boards, 15 assists to 2 gives an idea of the unselfishness of this unit.
Well, yeah, it's unsure of what to be most impressed with. Is it their offence at 75%? Is it their defence holding the opposition to only 28%? So they've been oppressive across the board. Their defence is certainly what they're going to need come playoffs. You get that done, you get a chance to be able to run, and that's where you can share the ball. And you shoot the ball at a higher percentage because they're getting it done in the first 8 seconds of the shot clock. They've been aggressive, they play with confidence, and as we've spoken about all day, they share the ball.
Jalen Adams, he's a man who is well and truly in that conversation as the most valuable player, and he's proving again tonight. Just a quick recap. Tasmania got it back to 13, and then Adams went bang, bang, and changed the entire game again. But he is doing it almost in slow-mo. You mentioned it, Hammer. He has so much time.
Well, I think what they did too, they came out and they gave the ultimate respect to the JackJumpers, which they needed to. They did, but they punched in the mouth early and said, no, we are the title favourites. We're here to play. We respect you, but we're going to show you the difference between the top team and maybe the 5th or 6th team. But that man on screen, he's only taken 4 shots. He's got 15 points. He's been able to get himself to the line. He's taken his time, and he's really set the table for everybody else to be able to feel good about themselves. 57 points is impressive.
All right, they're on fire. We're going to get back to the second half very shortly, but it's a very special day today.
What day is it?
It's 30 years since. Look at this.
And we're away. Straight away, Dave Simmons slaps it to Copeland. Leonard Copeland jams it for 2. About 2 seconds that took him. What a fantastic start. Bowls over Armfield, but plays allowed to go on. And Leonard Copeland now with 11. And the Tigers control. Copeland attempts a 3 and swishes. And it's effective. Leonard Copeland steals the ball and jams it. 5 points. And the Tigers.
We got a great team. We got a great bunch of guys. So we're just going to try to win every game we can. Come out and play hard.
Great game, Leonard. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, it's 30 years today since your debut in the NBL. There's your numbers right there. What did you have in that game? I didn't even check back because I knew you would know.
I had 37, I would think.
37 or 38?
There's somewhere in there. Somewhere in the cam, you know.
Yeah, did you trash talk?
Of course. I brought that with me.
30 years today, and we are honoured to have you not just in the league for so long, but also part of the NBL commentary team.
Thank you, Cam. Good to be here.
Maybe you made us play it. Here, give me some love. Oh. He made us play it, so there you go. We'll get to a break.
I didn't know it was coming.
Is mine coming?
There's plenty more. The second half on the other side of this.
Hungry Jacks NBL, 28-point lead for the Sydney Kings, and a little bit of an experiment here because if a basketball coach can't be happy up nearly 30 at half-time, they can never be happy. So let's find out. Anthony Stewart courtside with Chase Buford.
I'm joined here with Coach Chase. What a terrific, polished performance, both defensively, transition baskets. You've got to be really happy with the way the team's travelling.
Yeah, we came out and guarded. It led to getting stops, and when we get stops, we can run, and we got some easy baskets out in transition.
Are these the three best imports in the league? You must be excited about Ian Clark joining the group. Hasn't lost a game since he's been on in Australian soil. Got to be really happy with the way these guys are contributing.
Yeah, really pleased. They're playing hard. Now we need 20 more minutes of it.
20 more minutes. Championship around the corner?
We just got to keep playing every quarter as it comes.
Well, all the best in the second half, Chase. Well done.
Thank you.
Anthony Stewart trying to get
something
on headline. I like it. I like it. 28-point lead.
Says all the right things, though.
He does.
100% you're thinking about that championship. You kidding me?
He just blocked those things back.
Yeah,
just beautifully.
Yep.
Well, he does it. Veteran.
Yep.
Kenyon, Majet, McVeigh, Adams and McDaniel for the JackJumpers. Adams, Vasilovic, Swaka, Labulik, Cooks and Martin, your DoorDash starting fives for the second half. My State Bank Arena.
But I think, you know, we've won championships. And when you're on those teams and you're having these sort of runs, you know, you're all talking about you're doing it to win a championship.
Yep.
But at the same time, these guys are focused about winning that next game.
That's right.
Coming out hard to be able to continue a winning streak going. And it's a fine line of being able to do that, and they've done it really well.
Yeah. It's a fine line of keeping your head down. Again, I remember playing back with the Tigers, and we won 16 in a row. In his personality, but it's hard not to walk down the street with your head up and your shoulders wide, because you know you're the best team in the league, and you know if you continue doing what you're doing, you're going to win a championship.
But that's the balance too, because I think you need to enjoy that part of the process as well. You can't just totally suffocate it, and I think that's the balance the Kings have got right now, is they're enjoying it. You see by the way they're playing and the pop and how unselfish they are, so you don't want to totally put that out, but you've got to put a level head on it at the same time. It's just that fine line.
And that's good to have veteran guys around to say that kind of stuff.
And they are a veteran group as well. Here's Vasilovic. 75% from the field in the first half. JackJumpers making them earn it though here. Shot clock's down to 3. Cooks couldn't thread the needle.
A little bit too unselfish on that one.
Turnover number 11 for the Kings. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Majet after the handoff. He tried to just illegally weave his way through in the way of the defender, and the referee up to it.
I don't think he's ever fouled.
Never.
I don't think he's ever fouled. He could have been on the wing at the MCG as well. That was just a shepherd.
Mind you, it's him and about 84% of world basketballers who have never committed a foul in their lives.
That's true. Copes and I never fouled.
No, never, ever.
Leeds couldn't get it. And that's another turnover.
Cookie's being a little bit too unselfish here.
McVeigh. Adams has to go to work. Little floater from the foul line. Couldn't get it to go. Jet with 4 fouls had to go to the bench, so that's why Jared Weeks is in early in the second half. Vasilovic, 3.
Don't let him get going, because let me tell you something. He's the kind of guy, if he sees one go down, he's taking the next 2 or 3, and they're probably going to go. He's that good.
McDaniel got him going in the second quarter. Nice move in the end. Got Xavier Cooks to commit. Got him backpedaling and then into the air, and he'll earn himself a couple of freebies.
And this is what the Sydney Kings do really well. Look at them prepared to play one-on-one, but everyone's out in that help position. So they suffocate the defense and don't allow you to get into rotations. That's why they've only given up what JackJumpers got. They've only got 2 assists for that reason. It's the same thing on the pick and roll. Adams that last time came off against the drop situation. He couldn't find anybody off the pick and roll, so he had to shoot that long floater. Now, you can make that, but it's a much tougher shot than if you're getting all the way into the paint and being able to drive and dish and create for teammates.
That's right. I mean, exactly right.
McDaniel's got 8. Leads at 26. It's a long road back. They started it in the third quarter. Defensively, they've been really good. Junking it up. There's a double team. But in the end, great pass to Swakala Bullock. Thanks to a goaltend that was going to go down anyway. Earns the Kings' first 2 points of the second half.
Good job. He didn't trouble.
McVeigh turned the first one down. Talking about players have to get going. Now only 1 of 8. McDaniel keeps it alive. Adams off the dribble. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. And they're a lot more aggressive this quarter, boys. Defensively and offensively. And while they haven't exactly been able to get the fluency going yet offensively, there seems to be a bit of a resolve in this JackJumpers second half.
And it really has to start with Adams. He has to be this aggressive mindset to really encourage everybody else. And I think him and Jack McVeigh are the guys that can really put points on the board. Hopefully we see Steindl a little bit quicker. He's only 1 from 8 from the field, but again, he's somebody that can turn that around quickly. And you know, he's one of those players that he won't be worried about the 1 for 8. He's just looking for the next opportunity to get one up.
Josh Majette with 4 fouls on the bench as well. So going to need a Weeks or a Kenyon to be playmaker a little bit more for this Tasmania offense. Martin got the half double team, and in the end, what a pass to Cooks.
That's unstoppable. That's unstoppable.
He just flicked it over his shoulder. Good pickup too from Cooks.
Weeks finds Cooks's shoot. It's a great pass. He's so long, Copes.
He's long.
He's long.
He's talented. He rebounds the ball well. He's unselfish. He brings something different, you know, than most players. Again, a guy can score without you running any plays for him. And that's why I think, you know, I keep bringing it up, but I think he probably deserves a spot on that Olympic team. But again, there's a lot of guys that probably deserve that spot. We'll wait and see.
I think the other thing too, there was a lot of people talking about the Sydney Kings needing to bring in a big guy, and I just didn't agree. Yeah. This is an undersized team where you can play with your 5 men that are really just 4s that add that mobility and makes it even tougher to be able to stop. As Adams just goes bang again. He's only taken 5 shots, all from the 3-point line at 100%, if you don't mind.
Leads at 31. He's got 18.
And Shane, you're right. Remember when they had Jason Tate, who was undersized?
Yes.
And I don't know if he led the league in rebounds, but he certainly rebounded a lot. And that's when I switched over. I said, you don't necessarily need a big guy in this league.
You don't? I don't think in any league now. I think we see that in the NBA. We see it all around the world.
What a pass. Cooks to Martin.
Martin to Cooks, Cooks to Martin. They're just playing unselfish basketball, man.
Is that 18 dimes or is that 16?
It's 18.
I left my glasses at 18 to 3 assists.
Make that 4 for Tassie. McVeigh gets it to go. Felt he got a little nudge in the nostril as well, but it doesn't matter. Referee says play through it. He's got 5. They're 4 at 24 from the 3-point line, Tassie. But at the other end, they cannot stop whatever the Sydney Kings are dishing up. And on this particular occasion, it's Vasiljevic. McDaniel right back at it. Kenyon keeps it alive. And Martin might have got him trying to prize it free. What do you do there if you're a defender? Hammer?
Definitely not let him shoot the 3.
You pray that he misses, because that's a bottom shot.
And you've got to pick your poison, because we know he's a great passer. But you can't just switch that or have a soft switch and allow him to come off and take the shot. That's the first point. So you've got to be able to make him do something different. But if you start hard showing it or double team, you've got to then get into rotations. And they've got so many players that can score, and we've spoken about them being unselfish. Just got to pick your poison.
Maker off the bench, straight into the action offense.
Well, I think the other thing, too, that you can look at, I haven't seen any zone. You know, the Kings are flowing, they get up tempo. Sometimes you can play a little bit of zone or a little half-court sort of trap to be able to try and take away any sort of tempo advantage that the Sydney Kings have got, because they're just playing it on their terms.
Problem is, they're not missing a lot. When the JackJumpers are taking these threes and missing long shots, the Kings are out running. So you don't have time to come back and play zone.
Yeah, it's true.
Close, you do nothing wrong. You're retreating. I don't see him ever go through your play.
Well, he didn't just not hit me.
No, I'm saying that level of contact, I just thought we let that play. Okay?
That was a very nice conversation right there.
Call either way. It's close though.
Two nice guys.
You never spoke to him.
Never, ever in my life. They call me names, I call them names. Now I can say that now, I'm retired.
Adams nails both. He's got 11. And the Kings were hot to start, and it set up a big lead. Last touch, Adams.
Still a 30-point lead.
They're shooting 73% from the field, coach. 57% from the three-point line. Whatever they want to do. Nice move, McIntosh. That'll count.
Last time these teams played, Sydney only scored 70 for the game.
We've got a little bit of interest on top of that for this game. 70 already. Wow, in for a huge one here tonight. And let's be honest, it's going to take a pretty good effort for anyone in a series, particularly if Sydney get home court advantage, which it looks like they're going to. And you can imagine getting some big crowds out there to Kudos Bank Arena as well. It's going to take a good team in form to be able to win a series against the red-hot Sydney Kings.
Yes, I agree.
And let's be honest, Perth, they mess things up. Normally, they do it perfect, where they bring an import in at the right time where you think, oh, they're just coughing and spluttering a little bit. We'll bring somebody in to give us that energy to be able to make a play, and they just couldn't get it done.
They've still got Bryce Cotton and Vic Law, though.
They do. They've lost 2 in a row at home. That's something you don't see against the Perth Wildcats.
I think there's no doubt they're currently the 4th of the top 4.
4th?
Yeah, they're the 4th.
Really?
Of the top 4. Well, Sydney, Melbourne deserve the respect, although they haven't been playing all well the last couple of weeks as McIntosh goes to work.
Melbourne lost 2 in a row as well.
They have.
Right?
Both
I'm starting to worry about Melbourne.
I would go Sydney, Illawarra, my second-place team right now. Melbourne, Perth.
It's setting up for a remarkably fun NBL22. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They officially eliminated mathematically.
Put a fork in them.
Yeah, they're done. They're done.
I don't know whether they can possibly make it, but I'm just telling you right now, after their performance last night against Cairns, that was...
There was no urgency.
Nothing.
They didn't play with urgency last night.
It was soft.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Which is not dissimilar to what they did last week in Adelaide.
Yeah.
The intensity and the energy and the excitement that should be associated to a challenge of trying to force your way back into the playoffs.
Okay.
Wasn't there. Little shook up here is Jalen Adams.
See him grab his hammy there.
See our man Anthony Stewart in the background, making sure we don't miss a thing. Let's have a look, Copes.
He grabs his hammy there. That little lip.
Yeah.
Oh. A little nervous,
I
saying?
think he said cramp, but I did tend just to tighten up a little bit.
100%.
I don't. All right, put him on ice. That's it.
Yeah, well.
Wrap him up. Cotton wool. Get the cotton wool out now.
Straight away.
Must be cramping.
Cramp.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you call for the pickle juice, that's a good sign.
Shane, did you take that pickle juice back in the day?
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
Pickle juice. Throw the pickles out of the burgers.
He's back.
The juice.
He threw down some pickle juice associated and combined with some salt tablets, and he's back out there. So old lip-reading heel Gets it again. Just a cramp for Jalen Adams.
I'm saying, call me old and conservative, but I'm saying let's just make sure it's a cramp.
That's right.
You might just take a couple of minutes off right now.
11 points are different. 11 straight, back to 22 for Tassie here, as they start to get a little bit of energy. Every time they've had an opportunity to get themselves back into this, the Kings are able to find something, and Vodanovic will go to the foul line for 2. But here we go, Clint Steindl, you called for in the first half. Not many better in the league to be able to curl off screens and set himself, and he has proven it time and time again.
He's quality. He is quality.
Hey, if you said he hit you on the arm.
Vodanovic has been a really good role player for these guys as well. You know, you're talking about all the flair and the three-point shooters and all these things. Sometimes you need that undersized grunt as well, coming in, being able to play 4 and 5. He can still spread the floor, but he adds an element of toughness.
He does, Shane. You're right, exactly right.
Hungry Jack's burgers here on the line. And he breaks the heart of the Tasmanian basketball fans. The Hungry Jack's cheeseburgers will need to wait as he ends that 11-0 run for the JackJumpers. But they're building. The momentum is building. Here is Steindl to try and add to it. He does exactly that.
He's good at what he does. He's so long. I don't care if you do have a hand in his face. He's long and tall enough to take that shot over you. And most of the time it's going down.
And he's got a quick release. Yes. He doesn't need much time once he gets it to be able to get that thing off. And now they're making a play.
14-1 run for the JackJumpers. Adams all the way to the cup. He's able to get it to go through the 2 defenders. The lead is back to 17. It was 30 only a couple of minutes ago. Adams up to 13, as you can see there. And My State Bank Arena starting to lift. Clark, straight 3. No good. McDaniel ran out of real estate, and it's going to lead to another Sydney Kings opportunity. Turnover number 6 for the JackJumpers, and it leads to a Glover triple.
Calm down, Shane. Everybody calm down.
That's how you take the air out of about 5,000 Tasmanians.
McIntosh at Vodanovic. 2 big boys, a little bit of bump and grind. McIntosh did all the hard work and probably missed one he traditionally would make. As Adams is going to make McDaniel dance. They're doing this without Majet. He got his 4th personal in the first minute of this quarter. Adams creatively unrealistic. And now it's Glover at the other end, takes the bump from Steindl. Good professional foul. Send the King to the line rather than the easy 2.
Timeout's been called by the Tasmania JackJumpers.
Really good take. And that's what they do, the Sydney Kings. They get in the lanes. Adams missed that last 3. It's his first missed shot for the game. Got a deflection right there. Glover gets out to the races. And he is so tough, as we spoke about early in the game, Copes. You just wouldn't believe that he's had that many knee injuries with the way he plays and how dynamic he really is.
The lead was 30.
Yeah, right here.
Here's Chase Buford.
Somebody right here. We're in 55. Everybody's talking. We're running everything, all right? We have to rebound out of it. We have to rebound out of it, okay? Their ball right here. We're just going to pick up in 40, back to 55. All right, no Chicago or anything, 40 to 55. Let's go. Here we go, fellas. Come on. Let's get the juice. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3, defense.
And even though they're up by 20, he's still trying to fire him up, Hammer. You know, he knows, he knows the JackJumpers will come at him. He's still trying to go at him and let him know.
Yeah, and they need to. That's the respect that they came in with, and they've still got that now because they understand this team can get going at any stage. But have a look at the Sydney Kings lineup. You've got 5 players between 6'3" and 6'8". Wow, that's their lineup. All of them can shoot. All of them can defend, and they just bring a different sort of mobility, this undersized lineup.
physicality off the ball legal, that's all. Just with you and Tommy at the top. I know you hold. I know. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help.
In a really helpful mood today, the referee, which I like.
You could put that in the referee's manual. Just a few little clips that we've had. Yeah, very nice. Warning the two big fellas because they were starting to get a bit physical.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah, of course. You need that in
Let
the
them
game.
go.
They are two big boys who thrive on physicality. Vidanovic and McIntosh. Last 5 points for the Kings. Lead back to 22. Last 90 seconds of the third quarter. McDonald. Adams dribbled it to the Vidanovic foot.
He might have travelled first on that move. Looked like he picked up his pivot foot as he tried to cross over Vidanovic. He definitely travelled.
Trouble. Great help.
Adams into a double team.
Great help.
Got to go one-on-one on Clark. He pulls the trigger, no good.
When you heard that in the last time out from Chase Buford saying we're going to red everything, assuming that's a double team. And they did exactly that. And that's the advantage you've got when you go small, because you've got mobile bigs that have the ability to be able to get out there and hold a double team and really put out the fire. Little carry.
Little weird situation here. No one really thought to pick it up. Vidanovic with the hustle. Like for like, Hammer, you missed the travel at one end, you might let a carry go the other.
Referees are being nice today. They're being extremely nice today.
They are.
Jeez.
Glover again. McIntosh guarded by Cook. There's a double team that comes over from Vasiljevic. It's going to stay on the floor.
Last night, Shane, you were talking about a guy pulling the chair. He'd be a perfect candidate to pull that chair because he goes so hard on the first bump. I'm just pulling the chair.
But you've got to have an ability to be able to do that. It's not something like some guards, I could never do that.
Right.
You see the Casper Wares and these guys, they just are really good at the timing.
They play strong on the first one.
Yep.
To let you think they're going to do it again, they pull the chair and you fall.
You're gone.
Yeah.
Anthony Stewart courtside.
Yeah, guys, I'd just like to see them go back to Clint Steindl a little bit, knock down a few threes in a row, but the well's dried up for him. He just hasn't been able to get open. I'd like to see him go back to that. It got him right back into it.
Right.
Coming from a three-point shooter.
There you go, of course.
Which all four of us on the panel today
yes,
like to believe we were.
Cam shooting threes?
Oh, mate.
Come on, Cam.
Talks himself up more than any of us.
Oh, wow. Wait, you know what? I do. I don't know more than you two guys. Vasiljevic talking three-point shooters. He most certainly is. Couldn't get it to go. Physical inside. Vidanovic involved again, but it might be. There you go, Tom McDaniel.
That is a very small lineup, isn't it?
In both teams.
Yeah.
And we spoke earlier about Will Magnate being out of this lineup as well. You know, they would have been a much better team with a healthy Magnate, because we know his upside is huge. In the last couple of years, it's been a little bit harder for him since he came back from the States. Hasn't really had a great run at us being able to see the true upside that he really has.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now the challenge for Tasmania to re-sign him, only a one-year deal, so out of contract once NBL22 is done.
Question, Shane. Now, because this team's played so well, obviously you want to improve. Do you then, because they play together, do you then go try to get two better imports now?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. A lot of teams, a lot of players, people will be thinking, nah, we want to stick with this team.
They have maximised the talent that they've got.
Yes.
But if they're serious about trying to win a championship, then you've got to continue to improve. I think what they've done is they've created a culture that will continue on with them.
Right.
And they'll continue to recruit players that fit that culture. But how do you keep that and then get more talented at the same time? And it's harder for these smaller teams, you know, like Tassie and like Cairns, that probably don't have the same budget. We don't know that. We can only speculate, which I would like to know how much money they're spending, which is a different argument. But they have to continue to get better. But let's say that Tassie's eating for free tonight.
Absolutely. There you go. The code word is box. Hungry Jack's free cheeseburger.
And one of the best
for the
shooters
state
on
of
the
Tasmania.
Team. You kidding me?
Oh, that won't count. It was fun to watch him, Angus Glover, but there you go. Tassie got a little mini revival. Went on a 14-1 run. Got the lead under 20. But it's going to end at 22 with a quarter to go. My State Bank Arena, still 10 minutes to play. Don't go anywhere. Good news for everybody. Lifesavers has launched a new range of Fruit Tingles, chocolate balls and chocolate block. It's available now in supermarkets. The new chocolate range is a fun new way to enjoy the iconic and nostalgic Fruit Tingle Lifesavers that we all know and love.
You know, the only bad thing is when you do a game after Andrew Gaze, there's never any...
No, you're right.
Yeah,
Fruit Tingles left. There's nothing, mate.
Yeah, he goes to work.
Human incinerator.
We'll keep an eye on Ian Clark. We'll get Anthony Stewart right across it to see what that situation is. Cook's tried to go or get a back door for Jalen Adams, was unsuccessful. Turnover number 15 of the night for the Kings.
As Lindsay Gaze would say, never fake a back door. Never fake it, you gotta go.
Yep, ain't that the truth? There's one thing our good mate didn't do. Well, fake a back door, do he? Didn't he get some points off back doors?
Come on, man. And standing in the half court. Lay Mr. Layup King. He hears me talking.
Called basket hanging.
Yep.
Vasilovic, 3.
There we go.
Got it.
That is tough to do. We made it look simple, but when you come off like that, pick it up fake, get the defense up, and then you go up and take the shot, make it look that easy. Impressive.
Expect him to get a couple up in this quarter.
McVeigh. And Cooks loves to snaffle the rebound and run. And he does exactly that all the way to the bucket. Little Euro step. He's so lengthy. He's got 7 boards to go with 8 points. The lead's 27.
Don't forget the 6 dimes to go with that as well.
Was he on triple-double watch, Shane, or not?
Double watch.
You reckon?
8 points, 7 rebounds, 6 dimes.
He needs a couple of dimes. As Steindl, benefactor of a couple of loose hands on the rebound, he'll go to the foul line for 2.
Here's this little up fake. And bang, just got a beautiful release. As DJ. I'm sure we talk about Cooks, the ability to be able to play in transition. And he's had a couple of passes that he's made where people have actually missed the shot as well. Could have had a few more assists to his name.
Clint Steindl to the foul line. Now, we did see a 3/4 time. Ian Clark just trying to shake something off. Anthony Stewart, do you have any information on it?
Yeah, just chatting to the physio. He's just got some groin soreness from a play just before 3/4 time, and I can't see him playing this 4th quarter with the amount of games they've got coming up and the importance of those games.
A bit of groin tightness. The massage gun out.
These guys haven't made massage guns. Shane, we didn't have anything like that, did we?
No, come on. You're massaging yourself right there.
Yeah, massage guns.
Just jealous. We're just jealous.
Neither of you ever sat on a bench. When would you be getting a massage?
I sat on a bench. Shane and Drewy played 48.5 minutes per game.
No, I didn't play as many as Drewy. But let's just say that he didn't sub back in the day as freely as we do now.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I keep talking about 10 players in 20 minutes. Now, we played 7 players in 44 minutes. These other guys got to change.
Lindsay didn't even put people in a training.
I know, that's right. That's exactly right.
I used to go back and train with the Tigers in the off-season from playing overseas and felt guilty because he'd put contracted players out. And no guilt at all.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Adams couldn't finish with the left. Here's Cooks, Mr. Do-It-All. Adams absolutely rejected by Xavier Cooks. It ends up in Steindl's hand. Couldn't get it to go. He's just statting whatever he wants right now. There we go, Glover. Too easy, and Scott Roth's going to say, hang on, guys. I know it's not pretty on the scoreboard, but we need to play this out. Leads out to 28. He is stuffing the stat sheet, Xavier Cooks. He's doing whatever he wants, and it's a big reason why Sydney lead 85-57. Scott Roth, if you're just trying to get these guys just to make sure that they play this one out, right, Coach?
It's tough, though. You're down 30 points at home. They're not used to playing like this. And they're bringing the energy. But there's not a lot they can do, Shane. You got a team that's playing the way the Sydney Kings are playing.
Talk us through this, Copes.
No, great block. Again, rebound. Go. Look, they don't have any weaknesses. Guys coming off the bench, their 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th guy can contribute during the game. Then I'll say again, teams like Melbourne and Perth will be sitting at home going, how do we stop that, Shane? How do you stop? I mean, most teams have 2 or 3 quality players, and you have a group of guys that contribute on the defensive end. But these guys, anybody can score at any point throughout the game.
Yeah, they're unique. They play a unique style too because they're undersized and play that 5-out style that Chase Buford's been able to introduce, but they play with a togetherness that is tough to teach as well and unbelievably valuable. And they are going to be tough. Other teams have to step up to the plate now because they don't have the same talent.
That's right.
But the series are going to be really important because, you know, I'm surprised if you guys still think that Perth is the fourth team. I know they've poked themselves in the eye at the last few weeks, but when you've got Bryce Cotton and Victor Law, we've got two guys that are the second best import combination in the league right now. So they can win games on their own.
They can.
And that's where I think that Melbourne made a mistake by not bringing another import in earlier. I think they need somebody else that can put the ball in the hole. I don't think they use Golding enough. He's the player that can do that. They don't use it. They're a great defensive team, but they're showing that they're vulnerable right now.
Yep, exactly right.
Hey, round 18 is champion round. And boys, have a listen to this. To celebrate champion round, you head to the champion website tonight or tomorrow to receive 25% off your champion order. It is very simple. You enter the code word NBL25. NBL25. Coach, can't make it any simpler for you.
I used to be sponsored by Champion. I would hope that they'd send me a couple little things in the mail.
I would like to be celebrating champion round with a nice little hoodie.
That's right. Hey, those hoodies last forever, too.
Ever.
They're great. The material's fantastic.
That's going to count, by the way.
Come on, Champion, send us a couple.
It's a remarkable play by Xavier Cooks. Almost as remarkable as Hammer and Coach continuing to call for champion free stuff. For us mere mortals, make sure you head to the champion website. 25% off. NBL 25, little 360. Took the bump.
12, 9 and 6 now.
Wow.
He needs a couple of assists quickly, Hammer, because I think...
A couple of blocks. Yeah, no, his time's running out.
It is, because you wouldn't expect him to play a great deal more, you would think, considering they are 27 points in front. Let's make that 28.
He just looks so comfortable. You know, had a year last year that was injury plagued and really didn't get a good run at it, but just perfectly suited to the style that this Sydney Kings team plays as well. Really valuable. And I've heard you before on the telecast talk about the fact that he needs to be in that Boomers lineup, and we spoke to him on the show the other day, and he's right there in the mix. I think he fits the way Brian Goorjian wants to play as well. The hard thing is there's so much talent. Yes. Brian Goorjian's got the hardest job in the world.
Yes, he does.
And the most enjoyable job, by the way.
Yes.
But it's going to be so hard to pick 12 players. Looking at some of these young guys coming back, we've got Giddy coming back, Dyson Daniels that is going to be the perfect style player for that Boomers team as well as all the guys that won that medal.
Majek gets it to go. He's got 5 straight, been plagued with foul trouble tonight. He had 4 fouls early in that third quarter. McVeigh running and Majek just pulled up. They're 8 of 32 from the three-point line. Majet's only got the 7 points tonight, 5 in the last 30-odd seconds.
Just by the way, what was he saving him for with 3 fouls? Scott Roth.
Now he's on 4.
Again, what was he saving for you?
I don't know, you're right.
He's on 4, yes.
I don't have the glasses, so I'm not arguing with it. I thought he had 3.
No, he's got 4. But it's still the same theory.
30 at half-time, right?
Yep. We'll run the twist. We're going to come off. You're going to screen. We're looking for the flare over the top. And then we're in the OKC. Out of there. All right? That's going to be there. All right? 5 minutes. All right? That pick and roll there, just switch it. All right? Stay locked in. No gambles. Stay square on the ball. Keep defending and rebounding. Together. 1, 2, 3 together.
The Hungry Jacks NBL. First of our doubleheader today, Copes.
You mean there's another game?
There is.
Basketball fans should be excited.
They should well be.
You're going to be here for the start of that one, or are you just going to roll in when you want?
I would not miss the Leonard Copeland Cup. Brisbane v Adelaide.
Oh, I did play for both of those teams, didn't I?
That was the end of your career, wasn't the last 2 clubs?
Yes, it was.
Vasilovic got it. You said he would hit a couple in his 4th quarter after he got that first one to go, and he's able to get that to go as well. He's in the double figures with 10.
And the thing for Scott Roth now, what they'll be going through, and you've seen him, he's been a bit harsh earlier in the timeouts, but he's setting a standard. All teams go through this. Sydney Kings lost a game by 40. So you're going to have that at different stages. He'll want to set a standard, and they want to be able to take some learnings from this game. It's not the end of the world, but they need to be able to make sure they don't come out the way they did in this game. They got slapped early. They've got a really good run in the next couple of games, though. They play the Taipans at home, a winnable game for them to bounce back with. They play the Breakers, another winnable game. Phoenix away, you say that's winnable the way they played last night. And then United as well. So whatever they do in the last handful of games, this has been a really successful season for Tassie coming back in the league. And I'm happy to see him back.
Absolutely.
Have either of you boys been down there yet? My State Bank Arena?
No,
not yet.
Had the invite. You're happy to jump on a plane and...
It is a great place to watch basketball.
So you've been there?
I have been there. I was there early in the new year. In fact, it might have been New Year's Day. It was New Year's Day, but it's a great place to play basketball. The joint's humming with the Tasmanians, who have been behind this team from day dot in that first game against Brisbane, and really even a couple of years prior to that. But it's a great gym. Players love playing there, and it's a great place to watch it. So for anyone else around the country, as Adams lets it fly, get down there and check it out, because it's been a fun season for this Tasmania JackJumper team.
I must admit, though, when it first came out, I was a little bit disappointed in the name. I didn't know what JackJumpers meant, but it's catchy now.
It is.
Especially because they're winning. It's catchy.
It is.
Shane, you looking like you know, like...
No, I thought the same thing. I thought, what are they talking about? Why are we going with that name? But I think you grow into a name anyway. So the more you say it, and you know, it is what it is now, and away they go. Great pass that time. How's the shot? He just got that, caught that at the top of his head.
Didn't bring it down.
Did not bring it down one bit. Little, like Joe Ingles being able to catch that and let it rip.
Speaking of Joe Ingles, will he be on the Olympic team?
Oh, he has to.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about this Boomers team is, the culture and sacrifice from those guys playing in the NBA, and continuing just to have the passion to want to play for their country.
Right.
You get, the older you get, we know you get tired. It's really hard, and for them, they're playing 100 games a year.
Yeah.
To them, want to leave their families, go and put back because of the pride they have.
Time off.
Yeah. But
right.
it's the passion that they have to sacrifice, and why they're so successful. I think Paddy and Joey have to continue on, because that's how the next generation are learning what it means to be a Boomer.
Right.
Josh Giddey and these guys, they learn from it and set that standard, and it's an exciting time for Australian basketball.
Good.
Coach's challenge, Scott Roth. I have a feeling, just looking at it, that they might be unsuccessful.
He's just throwing it at the dartboard there, isn't he?
Well, why not? You got it.
They might as well use it.
Coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor stands. We have 2 shots to Sydney.
You're a smart guy,
time out and his challenge.
Just felt there was a bit of contact. Too much contact to actually... Mind you, the game we did on Thursday night, and Navidi commended for this, so I didn't realise this was actually possible. There was a foul called when it was challenged, and it actually said, hey, OK, no call, let's go over jump ball. So the fact is, I was under the impression that it had to be, well, if it's a foul here, it has to be something else. Or, yeah, so good job. And you mentioned it early, Hammer. I think the NBL has got this 100% right, this coach's challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that if there's a good rule to be added, it makes the game better. The NBL can just make decisions. There's not this long, drawn out over years and all the rest of it, and debate and everything else. It's like, bang, let's do it, run with it. It was a trial sort of period, and I think everyone was on board that it was the right way to go, and it's been really successful. I hope they bring it into the WNBL, by the way.
Good. Well, let's give the referees a hand. They have done a fantastic job. It's hard to be a referee, let me tell you now.
How do you know?
Because
I agree. I agree it would be.
You wouldn't know.
I just want to know how
from
you
the
know.
grief that he put him under.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree. You got the right answer. I just reckon your equation was wrong.
No.
You're not going to tell me you ref a basketball camp once and you
I ref little kids and they come at me the wrong way. So I know it's hard to be a referee. That's a hard job.
There was a flop, by the way. While you two were arguing, a flop just took place. That was called an offensive foul. Xavier Cooks.
Oh, that's a massive flop.
I said it last night. He needs 5 minutes in the sin bin for that. There's got to be some sort of penalty.
Jeez.
Please.
Just give the referees credit here.
Adams can't get it to go. Majet's going to run it down. Steindl.
Wow, Cooks is still in the game. And Adams.
95 points with 3.5 minutes to go. This has been an incredible effort. 62%, 42% from three. Got themselves 24 free throws along the way, 22 assists. That slowed down a little bit. Probably their only blemish is the 18 turnovers. But when you're playing up-tempo like they have, they've had a few too many in that column. But
Cooks has 8. Speaking of turnovers.
Well, he could get a triple-double after it.
That's right.
Adams, great pass inside. In the end, it was the other Adams who had nothing else to do but to foul Maker. We'll go to foul line for 2.
Again, he's just been patient, hasn't he, Jalen Adams? 20 points in the game, 5 dimes, 6 dimes, 5 rebounds. He just plays the game at his own pace.
Shooting at a great percentage from the 2 and the 3.
Well, particularly since he started the game 4 from 4 from the 3-point line. Only had 4 shots in the first half. And again, he just doesn't have any urgency that he's got to be able to get it done. He's playing what's in front of him. And the decisions that he makes have been impeccable.
Maker's got 7, continuing his nice vein of form. Majet able to get it to go.
Not worried about veteran guys or guys that played the whole game playing in junk time like this. I don't know. As a coach, myself, I'm taking them out. If I'm up 20 with 3 or 4 minutes to go, you won't see my starters in the game. Give those other guys an opportunity. But again, you worry about somebody coming down, rolling their ankle or anything like that. So,
touch of wood as you say that, by the way, coach.
There we go. And no one wants to come out of the game. But
doesn't seem like the sort of guy that's going to be too stressed about coming out. 20-point margin. They've done their job, as is DJ and Martin as well. You would imagine that Cooks is going to be next out. They are just loving life right now. Sydney Kings on the road.
Imagine the type of fun they're having. On the road, playing cards on the plane, hanging out in the hotels, just having fun, Cam. Those are the good old days.
When you're on a 10-game winning streak, it doesn't matter if you're hanging out at a hotel or you just sit at home by yourself. It all feels good.
Did you start that story with once upon a time?
That's what we did. Envious, brother, envious.
Kuzlovic, he walked. Wales going to have to get the work here. 6 on the shot clock, straight on 3. The confidence these kids come off the bench with. It's incredible.
Because you're training against the best team in the league, so imagine their practice is saying. Practice is fantastic.
Well, like I said, I was there last week, and it had so much pop to it. They were competitive, but the environment was good. You could tell everyone was upbeat. The second team was playing well against the first team. There was that environment where, you know, you want a competitive environment. You want it to be fun. It was a bit chippy as well, but everything had a lot of pop to it is the best way to describe it. And I think that's the environment. It comes from the head coach that you create that, and then the players buy in, and that's why they look like they're having a lot of fun going about it. And it's hard, like I said before, it's hard to do in a long season that's drawn out with the sort of delays that we've had with COVID restrictions this year.
You just there to watch, mate, or you just you're doing a little work in the office, were you?
I was there to learn. To be honest, I was there evaluating the sort of things that you do in a program to, you know, pick up to your own program of things that you can do better yourself. And yeah, and you know, Chase Buford, you know, comes with a lot of experience and a sort of different mindset that was really impressive. You know, being a fly on the wall, and that's really what I was, sitting in the corner.
Little jump hook by McVeigh. Struggled at different times tonight. He's into double figures now, however. 4 at 12 from the field. They're going to win the second half. Tasmania, which may be one of the things that Scott Ross mentioned at half-time to try and set little goal copes, but that hole they dug themselves late first quarter, early second quarter just made it too hard.
Hey, check out the run home for the Sydney Kings. They're away to the 36ers. They're away to the Breakers, away in Bendigo, away to the Hawks, home to the 36ers, away to the Taipans, and home to the Hawks. Well, they could sweep that.
I don't know about sweep. I think
well,
the Hawks will get
36ers, Breakers.
The Hawks will get one of those games.
You reckon the Hawks could get one?
Yep. One, maybe, yeah. The way the Hawks look.
Well, then they got the 36ers and Taipans. So really, we're saying the Hawks are the only two that really could trouble them in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, and they're on a 10-game win streak.
They'll finish top.
I think they will. Do they need to lose one, Coach? You spoke about that 16-game win streak in '97, and it's sometimes a school of thought that a loss isn't a bad thing. What do you make of it?
I'm on the fence with that. We lost one, but we won 16 straight and went to the championship and lost the game. So it gets your energy going again. You refocus. Sometimes you can feel like you're too good to lose. I don't think they're going to be like this, but
I don't think you need to lose one.
What if it happens?
But I think if it happens, it never hurts you.
That's right. Yeah, there you go.
Because they'll go the other way. If they don't lose one, you know, you spoke about the way they're walking down the street right now. They got a whole lot of belief, a whole lot of confidence. You feel good about yourself as well. But that's the balance of still coming into games, respecting the opposition, like they did tonight. They walked in there believing that the JackJumpers were the best team in the league, and they had to come out, play their best basketball to win. And if you keep that balance, I think they're going to be okay either way.
That's right. You need veteran players on the team, though, to remind you of that, though.
Bales is going to make it count.
Drury was our veteran player because there are times where you come down and pull it up, and Drury would lose his mind. Come on, Drury, shut up. We won 15 in a row. Relax. He'd always go off about any little thing that happened, and he'd keep you level-headed, you know. And you need guys like that around. But he'd always panic about every little thing. Drury, we're 8 games, you know, on top, and you're worried about a turnover. Relax, bro. You know, Shane.
23-point lead for the Kings. Shot clock is off. Hungry Jacks NBL, My State Bank Arena. Tasmanians love it. Not as much today as Perry launches it and gets it to go. And that'll do it. 10 in a row for the Sydney Kings. 103-83, they were dominant from go to woe. And I think you got a nice stat there, Shane Hill.
Oh, you got it.
No, you got it.
John World passing it around. Chase Buford, though.
Yeah. He makes, right now, as it stands right now, it's the first coach since 91 to have a 10-game win streak in their first season.
Wow, it's impressive.
It's very, very impressive. There's our Foot Locker player of the game, Jalen Adams. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and he's also the player earlier that every time Tasmania half flirted with getting back into it, he went whack, whack and said goodbye. Don't go anywhere. Hungry Jacks NBL continues, and Brisbane and Adelaide isn't too far away. Hungry Jacks NBL highlights. It was all the Sydney Kings. They win the game by 20. Xavier Cooks. They love to turn defence into offence, this Kings unit. And then Jalen Adams, well, he can turn anything into offence. He was our Foot Locker player of the game. Ian Clark hasn't lost a game since getting here in NBL22. Jarrell Martin somewhat had a lower profile this year, still giving us 17 and 7. But boys, it was fun to watch if you're a Kings fan.
It was all about business. From the jump ball, I think Shane said it, they came out business-like, letting them know we've won 9 in a row. We're not messing around. We know you guys beat us last time, but it's our game tonight.
And this is the type of stuff, Hammer, that we like to see because they don't take the foot off the gas at all.
Well, and what you said before, if you're a Kings fan, I think if you're a basketball fan, you can sit back and say, that is a good brand of basketball. They've got a nice team, play the right way as we see those top scorers. But it was a 60% from the field for the Sydney Kings, and they did it because they got so much in transition. They still shot the ball well. We saw the 23 assists. That slowed down a little bit in the second half, but they're a really unselfish team that likes to defend. Easy transition, 103 points. Had they kept everyone in the game, they probably could have